Before we get started, if you're serious and want to change your life, then watch the free video link in the description. Worrying is different from thinking. Worrying dwells on bad thoughts created from one conceptual situation, while thinking is processing useful judgment to avoid the unfavorable situation. Many people keep on telling to avoid negative thinker because they attract negative vibes. I am not disparaging the good side of positive attitude and optimism. What I want to emphasize is to try looking at the other views of a person labeled as a negative thinker. In the law of attraction, we are manipulating our mind to create things eventually, so it depends on a person's mind on what he thinks to materialize them into reality, but the law of attraction is realizable if you take action to put all things the way you want it to be. You could serve as a driving force to others by sending out your opinion, feeling, and attracting back more of what you have planned. Your action will either create a good or bad outcome from your decisions. With all due respect to people trying to avoid negative thinker, I am more challenged by someone saying a contrary outcome. I understand what they are dealing with, and they are just being a defensive pessimist. Individuals behaving in defensive pessimism are strategically preparing themselves how to handle uneasiness or discomfort to an uncertain outcome. There have been many ifs and buts on their minds to make a clear decision. Just like when making a computer program flowchart, they stop and logically process what is inside the decision box, that there is certain action if you decide to go here and there. When they are in defensive thinking, low expectations would arise in a way they plan of what action to do to avoid the uncertain events. In doing this, is helping them to prevent anxiety overcomes their feelings. Negative people are well aware of the possible problem, and thinking ahead would lead them for possible actions to avoid worst-case scenarios. There are two kinds of negative thinker. A negative thinker with the same trait as with positive thinker. These people are thinking of imaginary events, but the traits they both apply are doing nothing and just wait until the situation comes. They do not have a systematic plan to solve or mitigate the unpleasant situation. A negative thinker with a solution to apply. This kind of person is thinking ahead about what might be the problem, and from imaginary thoughts, he will plan activities to solve or alleviate the problem. Here is where things get fascinating about a negative thinker. A defensive pessimist heard the news that he must register his job position in an authorized committee to renew his residential identity card in a foreign country. His thought flooded with many ifs. Even though not sure if his job position is included among the professions to be registered, in no time he immediately applied for a special power of attorney for a family member and sent this to his home country to get all his credentials as requirements to be submitted to the committee. When the time comes to renew his residential identity, he had now on his hands all the supporting documents and timely submitted this to the committee. The hassle of chasing time to prepare all the documents are being replaced by convenience. In one occasion, he read news about the possible nationalization scheme as a new policy. All expatriates will be replaced by its local citizens. Even though not sure that his job position is included among the list of professions to be replaced, he created plans on how to abate his worries about filling the gaps of years will be lost in his retirement years. He started to save money every payday and sent it back home to deposit in the bank or investing it in government bonds. In just a few years, his money earned interest, and as expected, the nationalization scheme came. Without any hesitation, he accepted his fate and went home with his family with enough savings to sustain a family business. Negative thinkers deal with realism and rationalism because they behave toward the actual situation, gathering information and taking conscious action. While being positive thinker dwells on being complacent with the imaginary concept until it is too late to suppress the bad outcome. When events are not yet sure to happen, be specific on your goals and try to get in touch with reality, because it will probably fall somewhere in between. Beyond positive and negative retrospect, planning is best to get you through countless roadblocks. If someone tells you to set your mind positively, acknowledge and warn them that negative thinker is another friend reminding you to anticipate possible outcomes before the situation controls you. Don't forget to check out the video link in the description.